What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm on Tuxin Gaming, and welcome back to Retro Chronicles. Yes, this is going to be the continuation of the series we started last week. This is going to be continuing Yugi-Kaiba format, going through all the main decks of Yugi-Kaiba format until we get to our next format, which is Critter format. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into Stall Mill. Stall Mill is probably the second best deck to be playing in Yugi-Kaiba format, so I did want to go over it today. This deck is based around essentially just sitting behind high defense monsters and decking out your opponents with cards like Card Destruction. Now you'll be behind a lot of these 2000 defenders in this deck, and then essentially you're just waiting until your opponent runs out of cards, which is the main reason why we're on 45 cards instead of the usual 40. I'm actually on 45 because most decks actually run 43, or some stall mill decks run 43. So you're able to actually outmill other stall mill decks as well. But without further ado, we'll jump into our monster lineup. First off is our boss monster, Megami. She is an 1800 attack point, 2000 defense point monster, and I'm sure you're asking why we're playing her over Summoned Skull. And the reality is because of that defense value that you see right there. And 1800 attack points in this format is not a bad look either, being that Lajin is our biggest monster, or our biggest zero drop, I should say. And Megami is just a 1-drop 1800, so it can contest lodge in, or it can sit there and defend and stall out the opponent. The other cards we're seeing are cards we don't usually see in lineups, such as 3 Spirit of the Harp. This is going to be a 2000 defender, along with the other 2000 defenders in the lineup being the Giant Soldier of Stone, the Aqua Mador, and the Mystical Elf. We're maxing out on 3 Wall of Illusion in this deck. This is genuinely just because you want to get all their big heavy cards back to their hands and be able to continue to stall your opponent out. Yes, they'll be able to hit their own Mana Bugs into the triple Wall of Illusion, which is the usual reason why I don't like playing this, but it is one of our best stall options that we have currently in this format. Man-Eater Bug right now is going to be at 3 like you would see in every list, along with the Power 5 for your spell cards. We're going to be maxing out on 2 copies of the Card Destruction, since this is all the more we're allowed to play in this format. That way we can stall our opponent out a little bit faster. 2 copies of Swords of Revealing Light, probably the best stall card in the game outside of Waboku, being able to, it's just draw 3 unless your opponent has exactly D-Spell in their deck, which a lot of people do not play. We're maxing out on the Triple Soul Exchange in this deck list. This is just because not only are we able to use it as a sort of spot removal for our Megami, but it's also for our Smokescreen that we go into in the side deck. Fissure here is going to be a triple copy of. This is the best removal spell in our game, so of course we're going to be playing 3 of it. Like I said before, Waboku is our best trap card. 3 Trap Hole as another form of, removal. And then we're also going to be on Ultimate Offerings. That way we can actually end up flooding the field with multiple monsters. That way they can eat up hits against some stronger cards, or, just be able to fill up the field if we need to. And like I said earlier, we are playing a Smokescreen on our side. Like you saw in last week's video, we're actually going to be putting in Vanilla Soul Control as our side. So we'll have 3 Battle Logs, 3 Neos, 3 Lajin, 3 Summon Skull, and 3 Reinforcements. That way you can get rid of all these high defense point monsters, and then side in all your high attack point monsters, and then you can also side in your Reinforcements as well to get rid of some other cards that you don't really want to be playing around with. But without further ado, we're going to jump right into the showcase. Finally, just got done recording all this, so I'm very excited to show it to you. These games are actually very fun. Let me go ahead and show you both hands. That way you know what's going on both sides of the field. So we're going to go ahead, go to main phase 1. We're going to go ahead and set our Wall of Illusion face down. And like I told you all before, the main thing that we're going to be doing with this deck is just trying to stall the opponent. Make sure that they can't hit us. So he goes ahead and summons probably the best monster in the game, summons the Lajin, sets the Reinforcements, and along with the Trap Hole and the Waboku. Go ahead and passing turn off to us there, being scared of our Wall of Illusion or attacking into a 2000 defender. We draw for turn, drawing into the Mystical Elf. Going to main phase 1 here, we're going to go ahead and set our Mystical Elf face down, passing turn back to him, which he will draw into his Waboku. Going to main phase 1, he summons the Battle Logs, hits the battle phase, and then attacks into our Wall of Illusion. Wall of Illusion will send the Battle Logs back to hand, but he does have the Reinforcements there to kill the Wall of Illusion, so he doesn't have to deal with it on a later day. Then he's going to battle into our other set monster, being the Mystical Elf. This is going to cost him 200 life points. Going into our turn here, we are going to draw into our Man-Eater Bug. Going into the main phase 1, we set our Man-Eater face down, and then they will draw into the D-Spell. Going to the main phase 1, they're going to set their Giant Soldier of a Stone face down, setting also the other Waboku, and then attacking to our newly set monster, being the Man-Eater Bug. We will destroy their face down monsters thinking that it's their own Man-Eater Bug, and then it is the Giant Soldier of Stone. We will draw into turn, drawing into our Regeki, going to main phase 1, setting down our Mystical Elf, and then passing the turn back to the opponent. The opponent will draw for turn, drawing into the Dragon Zombie. We will go to main phase 1, battle phase, and then attack into the newly set monster, being another Mystical Elf. Drawing for turn here, we will draw into our own Waboku, set it face down, and then pass the turn back off to the opponent, who draws into their Maneater Bug. Going to main phase 1, they will set the Maneater Bug face down, pass the turn back off to us into our card destruction. Drawing for turn, we'll go to main phase 1, and then just pass turn because we're sitting comfortably where we're at. They'll draw for the Neo, the Magical Swordsman, flip up the Maneater Bug, destroy our Mystical Elf, and then pass turn back to us. We'll draw into the Aquamador here, go ahead and use the Soul Exchange, pretty much clear the Lajin, and then we will set the Megami face down with a Regeki to boot. We'll go ahead and card destruction here. That way we are losing 2 cards to their 4. This puts them on a much larger clock than we're on. So they'll go ahead and they'll dip 4. We didn't hit any of the power spells here, so that is unfortunate. So we'll go ahead and set one here and try to hit a power spell again. Again, missing it, which is unfortunate. It's like the big thing of using the card destruction to try to, like, you know, kind of hand trap in a way the spell cards, but you're playing like a mind game with it. And of course, for turn, for that draw there, they finally drew one of them. They're going to go ahead and pot of greed here, drawing into 2 of their cards, switching the Maneater Bug face down, and then using the Swords of Revealing Light to reveal that we're on Megami. They're then going to enter into the main phase, setting the Maneater Bug face down, and then we're going to draw for turn into the Trap Hole. We're going to just pass the turn off to the opponent, signal to them that they are on 1 turn of swords, and they're going to main phase 1 flip the Maneater Bug to destroy Megami. We're going to then draw for turn, drawing into our own fissure. There's no point in using those cards, so we're going to set the Trap Hole face down. They're going to draw for turn, drawing into the Battle Ox here, doing turn 2 of swords, and then they're going to just clear the Mystical Elf with their Dark Hole. Summoning the Lajin here, we're going to contest that with the Trap Hole, and then they're going to Monster Reborn. This Monster Reborn here is going to bring back our Megami. Megami is then going to enter the battle phase and hit us for a clear 1800 life points. We have plenty to spare, so we go ahead and we take that. We'll draw for turn, drawing into the other fissure, go to the main phase 1, use the fissure, that way we can clear the Megami, and then pass turn to get all off the swords. They'll draw for turn, drawing into Trap Master. They'll go for the main phase, summoning the Neo, the Magical Swordsman, and hit us for a clear 1700 attack points. We'll go for turn here, drawing into a Soul Exchange. Nothing to really be done here, so we'll just fissure to get the monster off. That way we're clearing the board and maintaining an advantage. They'll draw for the Swords of Revealing Light, summon the Dragon Zombie because they are on Wasteland Beatdown, and then summon or attack the Dragon Zombie into our life points. Again, plenty of life points to spare here. You got to remember that in this deck, your life points are more of a resource than anything else. So we'll go for the main phase. We'll just use the Dark Hole as a fissure in this scenario, and then we'll pass the turn back to the opponent. They'll draw for turn, drawing into Urabe. They'll summon their 1500 attack point monster and then hit us in the face for 15. Again, life points in this game is a resource, so we'll go ahead and we'll take that. We'll draw for turn, drawing into the Aquamador. We'll go ahead and set that card face down because it will buy us another turn, and they will draw for turn into the Regeki. The Regeki will meet our Mador here, and then they will just go to the battle phase and try to hit us for game. We do have the Waboku here that we've been saving, and then they are going to pass turn back to us. Drawing for turn, drawing the Swords of Revealing Life. Just the card we needed with everything that's going on here. We'll go ahead and play the swords, and we will have 3 additional draws for the game. They're going to draw for turn, drawing into Reinforcements, setting it face down along with their Trap Master, and then passing turn back off to us, to which we draw into our own Waboku. We're going to set our Waboku face down, and then we're going to pass turn back to the opponent. The opponent draws into a Maneater Bug and sets it face down. This is the second turn on swords. We draw for turn, drawing into an Ultimate Offering, and then we are passing the turn back to the opponent. There are only 9 turns left in this game. And at this point, we're just going to continue to stall them out. The Wasteland here is going to boost the Urabe up to 1700 and 1000 defense. And then they're going to set 1 monster face down and end turn. This is the last turn of swords. We'll draw for turn, drawing into Giant Soldier of Stone, which is boosted off the Wasteland. We will hit them with the Regeki for a 1/4. This is going to clear the entire field here, and then we are going to set the Giant Soldier of Stone, and that pretty much wraps up the game here. They're going to attack with Neo here. They're going to Reinforcements to not take any damage. We're going to pot of greed to draw 2. Setting the Wall of Illusion, they're going to use swords to bring it up. Bring the Summoned Skull out to hit the Giant Soldier. We'll just Soul Exchange the Giant Soldier, set the Megami, and at this point it's just a back and forth until they just run out of cards. So the Dispel hits the trap, the Change of Heart hits the monster doesn't do anything, and we go into the next game. Now here's where you will see that I ended up doing the smoke screen. So beforehand we were playing the stall mill. Now we are playing straight aggro. The opponent chooses to go first, drawing for turn. They're going to go ahead and set the giant soldier stone face down and pass the turn off to us, which we draw into our fissure. We're going to go Neo here and hit into the face down monster. It is just the giant soldier, so we'll just go ahead and set our reinforcements face down and then pass the turn back to the opponent. They draw for turn, drawing into a giant soldier stone again, using the D-spell here to see that we are on the reinforcements. And then they're going to go ahead and set another giant soldier face down. We're going to draw for turn, try to bait out the Man-Eater bug, so we're going to Swords Revealing like this. It is just another giant soldier, which we can easily deal with. So we go ahead and we fissure the one, and then we Neo, or summon Battle Locks, and then we Battle Locks into the giant soldier, and then reinforcements to the Battle Locks to clear that. And then we're going to go ahead and hit 1700 direct damage into the opponent here. At that point, we're able to pass turn again. They're going to draw for turn, drawing the Neo, summoning the Battle Locks, putting one turn onto our swords, and then going into our turn here. We are going to tribute summon into a Megami here, set one card face down, and then we are going to battle phase 1800 into the Battle Locks, and then 1700 directly, putting them more so on a clock than what they already were. We're going to go ahead and pass the turn off here. They're going to draw into the Monster Reborn. They're going to reborn back the Giant Soldier of Stone here, putting it in defense mode, and then they are going to just pass the turn back to us. There's nothing we can really do with the Giant Soldier where it's at right now. So we are going to draw for turn. We're drawing into the fissure. Perfect top deck for the monster that we are getting. We are drawing incredible this game. Go ahead and we fissure that monster right off the field. Summon the Wall of Illusion. And this, if you are good at your mathematics, is exact game. Hitting them for 1,000 here, 1,700 and 1,800. Putting them all the way down to 0. And that is the match. I hope you all enjoyed this type of content. If you're excited to see more, make sure you like the video. And, of course, subscribe, because I love to see your face each and every time I post one of these videos. Again, I think we only have, like, 3 more decks left of this. And then we'll be going into critter format. So I hope you all are excited for that. And I hope to see you guys next time. Bye-bye.